Welcome to UNBOXED on Purpose, where authentic purpose comes to light. Breaking limits on this journey, letting dreams flutter freely into flight. Flutter into freedom, flutter freely in God's light.
Hello, everybody. I greet you with the joy of Jesus in my heart, for it is in him that I live, I breathe, I move, and I have my very being. I am so delighted that you have joined Unboxed on Purpose today. We are a podcast created for Favored by the Father Ministries, and I am Barbara Arlene Fields Brehon, your host. Joining us today is Tamara Barnett, and we will be unboxing Tamara's story. Welcome to the Unboxed on Purpose stage, Tamara.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so delighted that you are here. Tamara Barnett lives in Missouri, and she is a restaurant worker. Tamara had an interest in being a writer since the age of 12 and became an author by the age of 23. In addition, Tamara has also been an artist since the age of 3. Can you imagine that? 3 years old? You can find her books that she has written through her website, womanofallseasons.com. You can find them on Amazon.com as well as barnesandnobles.com. We are going to share that again with you toward the end, but right now, Tamara Barnett, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Go ahead and tell us how we met. Tell the audience how we met. How do we know each other?
I would say through Quippy Quill. Yeah, Quippy Quill gave me information to talk to you, to be on your show, to do this podcast. And I'm delighted to be here.
I'm so glad for partnering with Quippy Quill. They have one of my books, Beyond Discipleship to Relationship, and they've done an outstanding job distributing that for me. And I look forward to continued work as it relates and correlates and how they send people to the Unboxed on Purpose stage. And so let's go ahead and jump into Tamara's story. What was your passion in life as you reflect on your childhood and teen years?
My passion in life was to be an artist first, but then by the time I got like 12, 13 years old, I wanted to be an author. But I wrote a few things when I was that age, but I didn't really think I was that great of to an author to be an author then. But it took time for me to get into really being an author, because it was like by the time I got 18, that's when I really kind of like really actually tried to write a really good story, but I never finished it. But I kept it. But the other stuff I wrote when I was younger, I didn't keep because I didn't think they were good enough. Plus, I didn't think I would have the finances to really publish a book then at that age. But by the time 18, I really tried to write a story, but I kept it. I said, if it's really meant for me to be an author, um, I'll end up being an author. So I kept that story, and I ended up finally um coming out, like really finishing the story and then adding a lot of other stories to it by the time I got like in my early 20s. So that's how I came up with the book, like Seasons of Love to Deep South Love. So it came out to be that story that I wrote starting at 18 and then writing like 5 additional extra stories.
So in the life of Tamara as a child and as a teen, what was growing up like? Where did you grow up? Where'd you live? And some of the things that let us have an identity check on you. Just some things about what that was like growing up.
I was born in like Longview, Texas. I was just born there, but then I moved to Kansas City, Kansas, probably like I was very probably like in my toddler years, and then
Uh,
moved in the Missouri side of Kansas City by the time I was 17. So it's like I'm like used to the more of the Midwest and the South, but it's like but it was like an okay childhood, and I learned that's I think my life inspired me to be a writer, and but from what I grew up like what I watched growing up and everything, that's what kind of inspired me to be a writer that kind of like have a story to tell, even though I've never written like an autobiography of my life, but a lot of the stories I've written and published has a lot to do, it relates to my real life.
so tell us about, you keep saying stories, and the name of this episode is Tamara's Story. So
Mhm.
I know the answer to this, but the audience doesn't. Tell us
Mhm.
about the content of your books.
Um, they're like all the stories, they all have a similarity to like the Season of Love to Deep South Love. They all are like stories that have to do with they're like some of them will deal with the South, and they it's like different things. Like they have a different era. Like one has a '90s era, one has a '80s era, and some of the 21st century era. And then some of the stories take place in the South, and some of them take place. I've written there in Kansas City too, so it's like the different cities and stuff that has a lot that's make it come together to make that title.
So it sounds like you have written collections of short stories, not a novel.
Yeah, a collection of short stories. Mhm.
Tell us,
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to keep digging into that, but I don't want to just go
Mhm.
question, question, question. I'm trying to get you to
Mhm.
just talk about it.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the writing process itself. We're talking about your story, you're becoming an author, and the way that that happened. It evolved over time. You got involved with Quippy Quill, a company that actually published and distributed and all those things. But the process of writing, what was that pivotal point that made you know that you could step outside of a box and know that you really were a decent writer? What made you feel that?
Um, it's all the stories that I could constantly came up with. Like, one story would give me an idea for another story, and then once I had good ideas flowing, that it kind of gave me. That's when I realized I could be a decent author. It just took like me believing in myself and knowing I can do it, and it's just it's just that I just felt like I had to keep doing it. It's something that really kind of like let me know what kind of person I was. I can be anything being an author. It just
Is there, go ahead.
mm, oh,
Is there,
I'm
go ahead.
this is just yeah, that's just how I just came up with the idea, just one story to the next. And I just kept ideals, just whatever came to my mind, I would just keep going. That's how I realized I could be a decent author.
Is there anybody in particular that really saw you, influenced you, and assisted you in the process of writing and
No,
publishing?
nobody really assisted me in being a author, being a writer, influenced me in any way. It's just something um that I got interested in. It's probably because I read a lot. I did a lot of reading when I was younger. That could influence me, but no particular person or anything, but it really influenced me. It's just or
Or
and plus just like I think just reading and looking at like a lot of some of the TV shows and stuff and movies I grew up watching influenced me and stuff like that. That just that. Mhm.
so if you had to unbox one lesson that shaped your writing, you've told us quite well, quite explicitly, all of the things that you've been writing about that really, if you put it together, it probably is your autobiography, but we'll leave that for another time. Unbox one lesson that has shaped who you are today. What would that be? A lesson that you have learned in life or about anything.
A lesson I learned, um, The lesson I learned that that I learned to be a writer just because I love to do it, not to do it for like money. That I shouldn't do it for that, and I'm not trying to do it for that. I just like to do it because I love it a lot.
That I do
Mm,
understand.
mm, mm,
Whatever it is that I write, it's not because I'm trying to get rich from it. It's
mm,
something about the purpose that comes from inside you. And that's what we're
mm,
talking about, our identity, our being authentic people, and how the writing is part of being authentically ourselves. That's our
mm,
purpose in being
mm,
created. That's part of it anyway,
mm.
being expressive through writing. And yours also includes art. We're going to give you a chance to talk about that art part of you in just a moment. But for now, let's tune back to the audience, turn to the audience. And before we unbox that art part of you, I want to invite others who may be listening or watching on YouTube to express their interest in possibly becoming a guest on Unbox on Purpose. We will be right back. If you feel called to share your journey on Unbox on Purpose, we'd love to hear from you. Visit our website, favoredbythefather.com. Click Contact Us, and we'll schedule a time to talk. This podcast was created with you in mind, your voice, your victory, your testimony. To be considered, leave your name, email address, the subject line Unboxed, and a brief note about what you'd like to say to be on the show. Together, let's advance God's purpose and help others become unboxed and flutter freely in the Lord. Yes, flutter freely. So, welcome back, Tamara Barnett. Let's dump some more of your puzzle pieces out of that identity box and see how God connects your artistry to your writing and other things that it is that Tamara is. Tell us about your artwork.
My artwork, it reflects as me as a person. Like I like drawing like people and it represents like who I am as a person and who I know who I am. And it's like it inspires me to the stuff that I draw about. It's very inspiring to me. And I know it can inspire other people because it really adds a lot. It can reflects what's in the stories that's in the book too.
Do you use, I haven't looked inside any of your books yet.
Mm.
Is your artwork in your books?
Yeah, in one of the books, the one that's called Another World, Another Place, it has art, it has a few art pictures in it, my drawings in there. So I can,
Excellent.
yeah, I want to try to do more of it too, put more of my art, not just on the front and back covers, but in more of my stories in the future too.
Absolutely. It sounds absolutely wonderful. When you are stepping outside of your box to pursue your ultimate purpose, will you connect that with where you are and where you're trying to go in terms of your purpose for being alive?
Yeah, yeah, where I'm trying to go. Yeah. Mhm.
Just tell us more about where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do in life from here
Just being
moving
better.
forward.
Yeah, just being a better me, doing, just doing more than what I have done, and just more stories, more art, just doing more of that.
So, in telling Tamara's story, is there anything more that you want to tell us about your work or your life that you intended to tell us, and I just haven't asked you the right question?
Um, more just more, just just what I've been doing, and just more and more, just I don't know yet really, but just more of different, just something different in the future. Mm.
Is there any specific wisdom or advice that you would like to pass on to future generations that aren't even born yet? that will keep them from feeling stuck in a box, not telling themselves what they can't do, just like you decided to go ahead and do that writing?
Just I would say just believe in yourself and whatever you want to do in life, you just do it. Don't let nobody stop you from doing it. It's like if you know you can do it, just do it. Because that's what I did. I had to like believe in myself, and sometimes you can't always care what people think of you, and because people are always gonna have their what they're gonna say, but you got to just keep doing what you doing. Yeah,
And
but I
so,
never really, I'm sorry.
go ahead, you
Yeah,
finish.
Um, I mean, but I really don't think I really let anything really keep me. It was just that I had to find the right time or the moment just to know that I can do it. So nothing really kind of held me back. It was just like I just needed, I knew I could do it even then when I was super young. But when the time came, I went for it.
That's
Mm,
fine and dandy for me.
mm,
So
mm.
at this time, your books are displayed right there on the screen. Would you go ahead and tell folks how they can get their hands on your books and how they can connect directly with you?
You can go on my website, it's womansaboutseason.com, or you can go to amazon.com or barnesandnoble.com.
All right, then. Thank you so very much, Tamara
Thank you.
Barnett from Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes.
You are unboxed on purpose.
Mm.
You have encouraged others to step outside of places, and even if they're not dark, deep, dark places, just make that shift and go ahead and write your own story. Go ahead and pursue that purpose that you know has been in you all of your life. So again, thank you, Tamara, for being on the Unbox on Purpose stage today.
Thank you.
And I ask our listening audience to join us for about 20, 30 minutes or so every week for Unbox on Purpose. We engage in stories, restorative conversations that refresh your purpose and shape your future. We release our new episodes on Thursdays on the Favored by the Father Ministries YouTube channel. We upload those to we place that link on the Facebook page as well as LinkedIn, and most other podcast platforms share our episodes. So as we continue to grow, we are like little butterflies emerging out of dark places of confinement, out of boxes, and allow the Holy Spirit will advance us to immeasurable and lofty levels in the Lord. We want you to fulfill your purpose. We want you to grow in grace, and we definitely want you to remain favored by the Father. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope you join us again next week.
Reverend Dr. Barbara A.F. Brehon, visionary servant leader, speaker, teacher, mentor, and best-selling author. Dr. Brehon's books are written to inspire, equip, and encourage believers on the journey of faith. The Disciples' Journey to Christ-Likeness Trilogy. Reach Me with Smiles, a handbook for developing disciple makers. Beyond Discipleship to Relationship, developing intimacy with the Lord. Blooming for Christ, growing godly intimacy. Reverend B. Beast's Morning Messages devotional series. Points to Ponder, devotional readings and journaling, volumes 1 and 2. The Perspective series. Perspectives, what singles really want for ministry and life. And 100 Unboxed Perspectives, reminiscences that inspire. Her anthology contributions include An Abraham Move in Beyond Adversity, 2 chapters in From Cocoon to Soar, Emerging from Darkness, and The Power of Self-Discovery. All titles are available now on Amazon. And as always, grow in grace, God's special favor, and remain favored by the Father.
You were made with purpose, an authentic purpose you can claim. Keep unboxing every blessing. Let your spirit flutter freely in Jesus' name. Until next time, keep flying boldly. Keep living fully, heart open wide. This is unboxed on purpose, where your story